Mr. President, what's your message to Democrats who don't want you to run again?
They want me to run.
2/3 say they don't.
Read the polls. Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same. That poll showed that 92% of Democrats, if I ran, would vote for me.
A majority of Democrats say they don't want you to run again in 2024.
92% said if I did, they'd vote for me.
That's Biden justifying his pretty disastrous presidency and his mishandling of many issues. The one that really stands out to me recently is his response to the reversal of Roe, which was to strike a deal with Mitch McConnell to install an anti-abortion right-wing judge to a lifetime federal judgeship in Kentucky. Yeah, people not so happy with Joe Biden these days. But nonetheless, he thinks, no, Jack, everyone loves me. Everyone would totally vote for me. And there's a little bit of truth, by the way, in what he said. But before we get to that, I want to point to the malarkey, because there's a lot. He's nothing but malarkey.
Nothing but malarkey.
He's a giant jar of malarkey.
Biden is a giant jar of malarkey.
Now, before I get to the receipts, and we should get to the polling, because the polling is not good for Biden. John, you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk a bit about that intro. No, that was really funny. Have you had that before? Is that new?
That we just rolled it out.
Okay, I do like it. That's pretty cool. I hope he delivers the malarkey.
Welcome to the premiere, friends.
Yeah, so what you saw from Biden, I have a couple thoughts. One, like back off, dude. Like it felt like he was getting super close to the camera. Grandpa, settle down. But the more important point is, what you got from him is marginally better than what Trump would have done in this exact same situation. So Trump would have just said, I'm at 96%. In what poll? When? Nowhere, because it doesn't exist. He'd just make it up. For Biden, the 92% that he cited, according to this poll, is accurate. If he's the nominee, 92% would vote for him. So he's not lying, except that he's denying the premise of the question, which is, yes, they would vote for you if they're stuck with you as the candidate. The larger point is they don't want to be stuck with you as a candidate, and he has no answer for that. Yeah. I sort of get it. Like, yeah, that doesn't feel good, but you could do something about this. It's a much more interesting conversation.
Well, I think the Democratic electorate can do something about it, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, let's actually get to the specific details of that poll. We covered it earlier this week, but the poll found that most Democrats do not want Biden to run in 2024. With the country gripped by a pervasive sense of pessimism, the president is hemorrhaging support. So 64% of Democratic voters say they would prefer a new standard bearer in the 2024 presidential campaign, according to this New York Times Siena College poll, as voters nationwide have soured on his leadership, giving him a meager 33% job approval rating. Get a load of that, Jack. Something you should consider. Now, he put his blinders on when it came to that portion of the poll. And what he was referring to when he cited 92% is that when push comes to shove, when there's no other choice, the Democratic base, the Democratic electorate will vote for Biden.
Yeah.
And what that does is it empowers terrible Democrats to keep being terrible, because they know that there isn't going to be any real consequence for being terrible, right? So like, I know they specifically mentioned Trump, and Democratic voters are particularly terrified of Donald Trump. I get it. But when you preemptively let a terrible Democratic politician know, we don't like you, but we really don't like Trump, so we'll vote for you anyway, without pushing him to do better, that he's not gonna do better. And I see so many of these people on Twitter. Hal Sparks, failed comedian, he's a good example of that. Doesn't matter. I mean, look, Joe Biden can release a sex tape with Donald Trump, and Hal Sparks will be like, but Biden's great, and anyone who criticizes him is pro-MAGA. Anna's pro-MAGA because she's very upset about a anti-choice religious zealot getting a lifetime appointment as a federal judge. Anna's the bad guy. Anna's the bad guy. Anna's the bad guy. No, Anna's not the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Enabling failure in the Democratic Party, failure that empowers the GOP. No, you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not the bad guy.
No, but like
not for that reason anyway.
So this poll shows Democratic misgivings about Biden seem to mostly melt away when presented with a choice between him and Trump. 92% of Democrats said they would stick with Biden.
Yes, yeah, sure. Which is one of the reasons why progressives think it's so important to fight in primaries and to have primaries. Because sure, our country is split between two parties. It puts people in a difficult position. So we can predict relatively well what'll happen once we get to the general election. So give them the best choice possible, but even that doesn't say exactly what Biden would have you believe. So if he is the nominee, then sure, maybe 92% of registered Democrats would vote for him. But wouldn't you like to inspire more people to register to be Democrats? And where exactly? Like, which groups? Which groups are you losing? Like, you can dive, into the demographic splits and all that. Like, it is not simply that he is beloved by the vast majority of the party. Don't put people in a position where they have to begrudgingly support a person, because
they love doing that.
That means they're not going to talk you up. They're probably not going to donate money. Some of them will intend to vote for you, but when it comes to the actual day, well, I'm not excited. I'm feeling kind of apathetic. What's the difference really? Why put people in that position?
Yeah, I mean, but they do it all the time. And what I can't understand, because it seems clear to me that Biden wants to run again. He wants to run for re-election.
Why does he want to run again? Why?
You don't seem to even enjoy the job. You don't really want to accomplish or fight for anything. So why? Like what? He ran promising that he would not seek re-election. He was just gonna be president for one term if he wins. And then of course he reneged on that, because as soon as they get a little taste of that power, they want more. They want more of it. They don't want to give it up. So, like, I know it's gonna come across as ageist. I don't mean to be ageist. He is not fit to be the president of the United States. He is too old, he is. And it's not just about the fact he's old, it's about how his age is showing in his performance of president of the United States. He's barely got any energy. When he speaks, it's not just about the fact he has a stutter. I know he has a stutter. I know he's overcome it, but sometimes it bleeds through in his speech. It's more than that. He read portions of the teleprompter that he wasn't supposed to read out loud, that were just supposed to give him direction. He doesn't even know Javier Becerra's name. He keeps saying Javier Baccaria. Like, you're asleep at the wheel, and this is not the time where Democratic voters need a president who is asleep at the wheel, especially as our rights are being stripped away from us. So like, it's not just about his age, it's about his age showing.
I don't even think the age is necessarily a big part of it. I mean,
I think
there are a lot of other centrist Democrats that would be the same thing Biden would be in office right now. They are effectively just a big rock in the Oval Office, just sitting there stopping things from happening. That's what they are.
That's what their whole role is. That's what their whole purpose is. That's the reason why the mainstream Democratic Party rallies in support for them.
Well, I'm just saying, if Biden was 6 years younger, I don't think he would be vigorously fighting for the cancellation of student loan debt.
No, I agree with you on that. Biden is who he is, but the fact that he is the age he is, and it seems to also have an impact on his energy, like to the point where he's MIA when serious things happen. Like, why do you want to run again?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
What are you doing? What are we doing here?
I don't know why he wants to be president. You should know. You should know before they become president. We should definitely know while they're president. Like, I can make a case for Trump. I mean, he certainly wasted much of the opportunity, but he liked the pomp and circumstance. With Biden, I honestly don't know why he wants to be president. And it sucks that he would potentially block a better, more qualified person from holding that spot.
Let's just go to the final graphic here, because this is a list put together by our team about things that he promised but failed to do. Remember, he promised $2,000 COVID stimulus checks. He didn't deliver on that, it was $1,400. But that's one of the smaller things. Didn't pass a $15 an hour minimum wage. He didn't take any meaningful action on climate change. Did not make the child tax credit permanent. No universal pre-K. Did not protect reproductive rights. Let's come back for a second. He didn't pass the PRO Act. It goes on and on and on and on, right? And of course, there's always a billion excuses. Oh, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. He didn't even try, that's the problem. He didn't fight for it. And he's still using complimentary language toward people like Kyrsten Sinema, who stood in the way of passing what he claims to be his agenda. So you didn't fight for it because you didn't care about it. You don't care about delivering for the people who did the work to get you elected.
Yep.
So why do you want to do this? What's the point? God, I just wish Democratic leadership would step aside and allow others to lead, people who actually want to lead, people who actually want to deliver for their voters, but they won't do it. They're too hungry for power.
Yep.